Hello, I'm back and I am doing my October favourites for you today. It feels crazy that that month has gone by so fast, but I've actually been using a lot of makeup, so I thought I would talk you through my favourites. Usually I don't do these videos monthly, but I have been using a lot of new products this month, so I thought I would. Before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your continued support. We just hit 3,000 subscribers, so that's amazing. I can't even believe that that number is real. Thank you if you're subscribed, and if you're not but you watch me regularly, still thank you so much for your support. If you would like to subscribe, then that'd be great, but if not, then that's absolutely fine as well. And yeah, I just can't believe that we are at 3,000 now. It's crazy. Thank you so much again, and I don't know what else to say, so let's just start talking about makeup, because that's what I do best, clearly. So I'm going to talk really quickly about the 3 brushes that I've been loving. I hadn't bought any new brushes for a fair few months before this. I'd kind of just used what I had for quite a long time, in terms of face brushes anyway. I did buy a new foundation brush kind of semi-recently, but in terms of actually other face brushes, like for bronzer and blush and stuff, I had just been sticking with what I had for probably over a year. Luxie was one brand that I've never tried, and they are, I believe, an American brand, or they were definitely big in America before they came over to the UK, and they recently began being stocked on Beauty Bay, so that was really exciting. So I wanted like an angled blush brush for a while, because you know Jaclyn Hill always raves about that Morphe angle brush, but they don't sell that on the Beauty Bay website, which is the only place as far as I know, oh, apart from Cult Beauty, that stocks Morphe in the UK, but neither of them sell that brush. So I bought this hoping that it would be a dupe. I have to say, I think the Morphe one, I don't know because I don't own it, but when I see Jaclyn Hill and other people on YouTube using it, they kind of do it like that, so it's like quite a fluffy brush, but this I find I have to actually pat the blush on, so I wasn't sure that I would like that at first, and I think I did feature this in my Beauty Bay haul video a few videos back, and tried it for the first time in that video, and I said, oh, I wasn't sure about it, but I've been using it this whole month and I actually really like how it makes my blush look. It makes it look very kind of soft and flawless, but still it packs it on quite well, because you have to actually pat it onto your cheek, because it's a flat top brush. It's kind of like a buffing brush almost. You can't really just do that because it will move around your foundation, so you can't just kind of sweep it over your face. You have to actually pat your blush onto your face.
Okay, let's start again.
I also really like the fact that it does have a kind of angle to it, because I find that when I'm wearing blush, it looks better if I can kind of angle the blush slightly to kind of lift my cheek, rather than just putting it right on the apples or like right here on the middle of my cheek. This brush makes that really easy to do because it already has that angle shape to it, so you just kind of stamp it on and it's done for you, and it kind of brings it out and kind of lifts your whole face like that. So I love that. That was the Luxie 504 large angled blush brush. I think it is a blush brush, or if not, it's just a large angled brush. Next is this Morphe M527. I featured this in the same haul, and again I said I wasn't sure because it wasn't quite what I was expecting. It was a lot bigger than I expected. This is another one of Jaclyn Hill's recommendations. Can you tell there's a theme occurring? I basically just buy all the makeup that Jaclyn Hill has and use it like her. So this is basically a tapered bronzing brush, but it's tapered, rather than being tapered in, it's tapered so it gets more fluffy. So it's kind of like a paddle brush, I guess. I think that might be what it is, but technical terms I'm not good at. Yeah, it's very very fluffy, and what I actually wanted it for originally was to create a kind of contour line with it, which she does really nicely, and you can still create that sharp line because it's kind of flat rather than completely round. It has that kind of straight shape to it, so she actually gets a really nice kind of contour line with it. Not a proper contour line because it's a bronzer brush, so it's supposed to kind of be soft, but you don't want your bronzer to kind of come down past your cheekbone because then it can just make your face not look as defined as you want it to be. So that's what I bought this brush for. It is far too big to be able to do that for my face. They do make a smaller size, so I wish I'd got that. If you have kind of a short face like I do, my face isn't that long, so this kind of is just you can see it just takes up almost my whole cheek, so it doesn't create that really strong contour line that I kind of wanted. I kind of wanted a contour and bronzer brush in one, and this is just a bronzer brush. I know that seems like such a stupid, like, first world problem to have, but that's what I wanted and this is what I got. But nevertheless, I actually have really enjoyed the way, again, this makes my bronzer look. I think it looks so soft and blended out, but it's still like really noticeable. With my last bronzer brush, I was using the Zoeva Luxe highlight brush, and I just found that it was kind of looking quite choppy, and of course this one is more round, whereas this one has kind of a straight shape to it, so you can really see the difference there, hopefully. This one is much more of a round shape, and it's way smaller as well, so this one really just buffs everything out and makes everything look really blended, and I really like how it makes my bronzer look. Next, so you're going to see in a minute that I bought a new powder, and I wanted, I didn't have any kind of synthetic powder brushes that would really pack the powder on. I bought the Real Techniques regular powder brush to do this because I've been wanting to get this brush for so long, but I just never really had a need for it, and now I did have a need for it, and I was trying to think of other brushes that I have in my collection that do the same thing, and I just didn't have any. So that's why I bought this. It's a very dense brush, but it's still really fluffy. Like I do this, but I also do this with the powder. So I really like how this applies. Real Techniques is a great brush brand if you want to kind of delve into really good quality, but still reasonably affordable brushes. Then they're just the best brand to start with. I think I always recommend them to people who want to start with brushes. So yeah, I really like that, and that's it. So as I was talking about that just then, I will go on to the powder that I bought. It is the Kiko Weightless Perfection Wet and Dry Powder Foundation. Yes, I bought a powder foundation. I just found that the face powders I was using didn't have enough coverage for me, weren't smoothing out my skin enough. So I really wanted to try a powder foundation because I felt like that would give me the coverage I wanted and make my face really smooth. I was worried that it would kind of make my skin really dry because it's a foundation, so it's going to be quite cakey, I thought. But actually this isn't. It's quite weird how it works. Really soft to touch, so it feels just like velvet when you touch it. And the consistency is so comfortable to wear. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing loads of powder, but yet my face is still matte to touch. So you know how sometimes, even when you put powder on, you can still feel the tackiness of your foundation. This definitely sets everything down. I do go in quite heavy with this, as I said, and I kind of push it on like that, and then I'll just kind of buff it out afterwards just to make sure that it's all blended. I instantly noticed a difference the first time I wore this on camera. It made my skin look so much more flawless than it's ever looked before. I think the first time I wore it was in my skincare routine, and a couple of people commented saying, wow, your skin looks really glowy, and honestly it's this, like, it made such a difference. Love this. This is probably my favourite thing I've bought this month. So as I was talking about face products, I've also been getting back into using my NARS Sheer Glow. I just love the way this foundation looks on my skin. It just makes everything look very glowy and healthy, and I always think whenever I put it on, it's like putting on good skin. It's like good skin in a bottle. It really, really is. I have the shade Mont Blanc, which is pretty much a perfect match, but this foundation does oxidize very slightly. It's not really noticeable, but to me it's noticeable. But it's something that I just live with. I used to just not wear this ever because I always used to save it for like special occasions, like when I was going out in the evening. It used to be my going out foundation, but I've started wearing it during the day because I've actually started working 9 to 5 and I needed something a little bit more heavy coverage because I was having some like skin issues. This with the powder foundation, oh my god, it just makes your skin look so flawless and so glowy. I have 2 blushes I've been loving, both new purchases. The first one is the one that I featured in my Beauty Bay haul, which you will have seen. It is the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. It's probably one of the most hyped up blushes on YouTube. Yeah, Beauty Bay recently started stocking Milani, so I was like, I really want to try their Luminoso blush because that's the thing that everyone raves about. I think it's comparable to NARS Orgasm if you're familiar with that. It's like a peachy pink with a goldish shimmer running through it, but on the cheeks it just looks really pretty and gives you enough glow to make you look healthy, but the gold shimmer doesn't really show on the cheeks. So I've been using that with that blush brush that I spoke about. And I love, love, love how it makes my skin look. The other blush I've been wearing, I've been switching between the two all month, is the NYX blush in the shade Amber. And it's more of kind of a darker mauve toned blush. It's not super pigmented, which I like in a blush because I don't like them to be like clown face, you know, so you're probably not going to really be able to see it on my hand. It's just a darker, more mauve tone, just autumn appropriate shade. I bought this because I have a really similar shade by L'Oreal. I think it's in the shade Rosewood, but L'Oreal isn't cruelty free, so I picked up this NYX one to see how comparable it was. It's quite similar, but the L'Oreal one has a very, very faint shimmer in it, whereas this one is matte. I actually prefer this one. So I'm really pleased that I picked that up because I think I'm going to get loads of use out of it this winter. So one more thing that I mentioned in that haul was the LA Girl Glide Liner, and this is in the shade brown, I think. Yes, brown. It's just a matte brown liner. I was using the Ardency In one, again, one of Jaclyn Hill's recommendations. She says the Ardency In eyeliners are the best one that she's tried. I think this is just as good. It's very waterproof. It doesn't tug on your eyes because I always tightline my top waterline and that can get really painful if you have a very scratchy eyeliner. So I always like to buy these slightly softer ones. They're usually in like a black pencil like that. And that's how you can kind of tell if they're going to be softer, but it's really, really pigmented, and it's basically like a gel liner but in pencil form, and yeah, it blends out really easily and it stays put all day, no problems. The last thing I'm going to talk about is an oldie but a goodie. I always crack this out during the winter months because it's just a really, really pretty champagne highlight. Of course, it is the Balm Mary Luminizer. Everyone talks about this on YouTube, but for good reason. It's just I'm wearing it today. It just gives a really pretty natural glow. If you have pale skin, buy this. You won't regret it. It's not too expensive compared to like the Becca highlighters and stuff. I will say that I think I have one Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop, so it's like a completely different colour to this. I don't have Moonstone, which is more comparable to this colour, but the Becca highlight that I have is much more soft and buttery consistency than this. This is a little bit hard and chunky, but I have had this probably coming up to 2 years now, so it's probably time to get rid. And I haven't even hit pan and I've used it a lot. It doesn't look chunky when you're wearing it, but it just feels chunky in the pan when you actually put your hand on it and you think, oh, that's not going to look nice on the skin, but then it does look really nice. So I do want to try Beckham Moonstone at some point. I'm not going to buy it yet because I can't justify it, but as soon as I can justify it, you know I'll be buying it because I love highlights so much. I've been wearing this highlight almost every day this month, and I really recommend it if you have pale skin and you're in the market for a highlighter, or if you have any skin tone really, because it suits pretty much all skin tones. Oh, there was something else that I forgot. Okay, so this is the last thing I want to talk about. It is the Dose of Colours liquid lipstick in the shade Bear With Me. I love this shade so much. It's like a really pretty nude, but it pulls slightly mauve on me. So it's kind of a little bit darker than I expected. I expected it to be a really light pink nude, but it's more of kind of a brownish mauve toned pink, but it still looks natural. Whenever I've been wearing a liquid lipstick, I've pretty much just been wearing this. It stays put for hours and it still looks good like hours after you've applied it, even if you've like eaten or drunk. Ugh. Can tell my brain's all over the place today. But yeah, I just really like it. It is very drying, but I'm kind of used to that now. But if you're not used to dry lipsticks or the way that they feel when they are very dry on your lips, you might not like this. It's not something I liked at first, but I like the colour so much that I kept wearing it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, thank you for 3,000 subscribers. It's amazing. And yeah, let me know what your favourites of the month have been, if any. I love getting recommendations for new makeup, so let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.